Hello, everybody. I am here today with Jess Sayer. I have just finished seeing their final dress of the show Wings, which opens tomorrow night here in Auckland at the Basement Theater upstairs. And I'm sitting down with Jess today just to talk a little bit about her process of writing the play. She is also starring in the show. So we're just going to talk a little bit about being a playwright. So we'll get started. Hello. Thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thanks for coming and finding me.
We are where are we? We're at
Brooklyn.
We are at the Brooklyn Bar here in Auckland. So Jess, how old were you when you wrote your first play?
I wrote Fix when I was 21.
Yeah. Had you written a play when you were little? Did you do the thing with
No, never. It just happened. I saw a production of The Creditors by August Strindberg and was like, I need to do that.
Strindberg, yes, Strindberg.
Big fan.
Oh yeah. Awesome. So 21.
Yeah.
And what was your? Well, you just answered that. You saw Strindberg.
Yeah.
And that was your. My second question for her was what her emphasis was. Woo, we got windy.
The fan
at the door.
Okay. She'll be back. Oh, it's open again.
All right. Well, we'll just be a little Beyonce in here with the fan. So Strindberg inspired your writing of your first play.
Yeah. I always written like creative writing, but I never kind of considered plays. I'd never really seen any theatre or had anything to do with acting or that world, theatre world. So, but then I saw that and I just knew that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went from seeing a show to writing to acting.
Yeah, quite quickly. It was quite, it was good.
Also, well, I mean, it's just an example of seeing something you want and going after it.
Exactly,
so.
Yeah.
Now, when I talked to you and Jordan earlier last week, you guys had, you mentioned that Albee was also a strong influence for you as a playwright. So what exactly about Edward Albee inspires you?
I think after I saw the Creditors, I started reading a lot of playwrights and found Albee. Someone said to me to read The Goat.
Yes.
And I was just like, it was the most incredible. It was funny, it was dark, it was moving, it was just everything that I kind of imagined that I wanted to have in a play.
Yeah.
And he's really brave and he confronts things and he talks about things that other people don't want to talk about or they wouldn't feel comfortable. I just imagine having to sit through The Goat and just, I think you feel very, as an audience member.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love the idea of being really confronted and kind of reaching people who are walking this fine line of sanity, like on that knife edge, and which way they're going to fall. People doing things that you know that people would do, but then you never see.
Yeah.
So I think it's just brave and great.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my undergrad professors trained under Albee. Was his assistant for several years.
Oh,
and it turns out he's very much that kind of person who's a little uncomfortable.
Good.
Which you don't seem like you make people uncomfortable, per se.
Yeah.
We've only met a couple of times, so.
Yes.
So what other playwrights? We got Strindberg, we've got Albee.
Well, I have this person in my life who's an amazing mentor to me, Stuart Hoare. And I just think he's wonderful and he's a huge inspiration to me. And people like, I watch That Face by Polly Stenham, and I really like reading lots of young playwrights.
Yeah.
There's just so many. I don't know. So many amazing playwrights around, and good Kiwi ones, and
Kiwi playwright right here. All right, awesome. So speaking of being young and a Kiwi and a playwright, can you tell me a little bit about B425?
Yes, well, it's this incredible opportunity that Play Market kind of run, and it's anyone under 25 can enter, and they have this amazing. The criteria is don't hold back. It can be anything, any format. And I submitted Fix. I hadn't read any plays. And I just seen The Creditors, so I had no idea how to lay it out or what the heck I was doing.
Right.
And it was this. I went back and read it the other day. It was this mumbo jumbo of like dialogue and directions, and I don't know how they read it, but. They're just so wonderful. The fact they support, young Kiwi writers, and then when you after winning, I met Stuart, which was the best thing ever, and they just kind of forever supportive and will read your work and give you really good, honest feedback. They don't mollycoddle you. It's all just really honest, which is great. And Murray, who is kind of runs it all, he's fantastic as well. And we've got a lovely new man called Salisi, and he's just wonderful. And it's just such a loving, supportive company, family that you, once you're a part of, you're kind of enfolded in, which is so great.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're just wonderful. And they, like for Fix, they gave us they give you development kind of funding, well not funding, but just like potential, so you can have workshops, and they have a space on Wellesley Street, the offices, which you can, they've got a boardroom, you can go in and drag all your friends and make them lead your play, and
that's awesome.
Which is so great. I mean, not many other people willing to do that. Yeah. So,
what is Fix about?
Fix. Fix is about a family who have, you kind of watch them deteriorating. The dad's done something quite not very nice, and kind of works from there. And the main character, I guess, is Grace, the mother, and it's kind of her going through, and the younger son, Zach, going through that, just complete destruction of what was a tight family unit, and just seeing how that works. My parents have recently had a divorce when I wrote it, and I guess just kind of me working through that, and just exploring it to the extremes of what you hear some families go through. Sometimes just like completely people kill each other, or just all sorts of awful stuff that happens. So I really wanted to explore that. So that was cool.
Awesome. Fan, hold on. Awesome. All right, and I'm back again. Ooh, I'm getting messier right at the moment. Awesome. All right, and then Elevator was the second one that you did with Play Market, right?
Yeah. So it was the second one I submitted to the competition, and that was awesome, winning that, and with Sam Brooks as well, who's another amazing playwright. So it was really cool to take that out with him, which was awesome. And it's great.
All right, and then, so that brings us to Wings, the show that Jess is working on right now. Of course, it's written, and they're in production at the Basement. So I will let her give you a little bit about Wings.
Wings is a play I wrote for the two other women that are in it, Darlene and Samaya, who I love. I really wanted to work with them, so I wanted to write a vehicle. So it's set in a car, which is like funny. Yes. A way for me to be able to work with them. That's kind of how that happened. I guess Wings is about. I really like the idea of my brother lives quite far away from me, and we, we're really close, but I don't feel like I know him really anymore, and that's completely out. We live just too far away. You mean, like I see all his Facebook updates and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, or it's like. And the idea of having these people that are so far removed from each other, all of a sudden, who are supposed to be so close, thrown together in this tiny car and, for hours and hours and hours going to this place, their mother's funeral, and just, how they deal with that. And this huge traumatic event that's kind of happened in their lives.
Awesome.
Kind of.
No, it's awesome. And if you are in Auckland, you should definitely be checking this out. You've got all this coming weekend, well, the rest of this week.
Yeah, till the 17th.
The 17th to check out the show. So do yourself a favor and get in your car, and or the bus like I did, and head over to the basement upstairs to see Wings. Now, as far as Wings, where are you going after this? Do you have any plans for the show?
We would like to tour it, I think. We've had some interest from the Dark Room in Palmerston North. They're just lovely, so hopefully we'll try and get down there. Darlene's from Levin, so we're hoping of stopping, and kind of, she works in Rotorua a lot, so we're kind of hoping to do Rotorua, Levin. Hopefully go to Wellington. I don't know, I think, I like creating tourable work, so with Elevator, just work that you can kind of chuck in a car and go. And it definitely has that sense. I mean, it's a nice, simple, genius sort of set. So what show, now you have a show right now that is in North Carolina? It's going there, Elevator got picked up by Mad Dog Theatre Company, I believe. It's another guy called Gregor who's going to do it over there next year. Just quite crazy.
That's awesome.
Happened very quickly. It's great. It's exciting.
So, I mean, if you don't mind my asking, so she's saying she's just got all started on this at 21. I'm guessing you're not super past that at this point.
I mean, just turned 23 yesterday.
Yeah. So this has all happened in a couple of years, which is incredible and a testament to her talent, not only in the writing, but if I Macy, also in the singing and in the acting that I saw tonight. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah.
I really love seeing your show tonight, and I can kind of imagine with Fix and Elevator, I can imagine what those are a little bit like from seeing tonight, and I can think of so many theaters in the States that I think would like your work.
Tell them.
I will. The Phoenix in Indianapolis. This lady's work. Take it. Upstart in Dallas. Check it out. Awesome. All right, and then for you, we talked a little bit about when I met with you in Jordan, just about the atmosphere of Auckland really supporting emerging artists.
Yeah.
And just they really have a culture here of theater artists wearing different hats and doing different parts of being involved in theater, and really just creating and generating new work, new blood. And so for you, what do you personally hope to achieve as a playwright? And what's your artistic statement, if you will?
I really feel passionately about writing strong roles for women. And that's a huge part of what I want to do. And I guess just work that does confront and challenge and engage people. Hopefully things that they'll walk out of the theatre not going, with my car keys, like they'll want to actually talk about it or argue about it or have questions, So I guess just challenging theatre and lots of girl power.
Yes. And there were definitely strong women roles tonight. But I appreciate it because, I do think that there was that sense of, you'd want to talk about it. But it wasn't so bizarre, it was challenging and it was strong. And it was out of the box in many ways, but it wasn't so far out there that it was all about how far out there it was, which I really appreciated about it. And the audience definitely hung around a bit. They kind of had to tell us to leave. So that is always a good sign.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to check up all the information about the show running this week on the Basement blog, as well as on Theatrical Nerd, and also a little bit about the Before 25 and all the play market stuff.
It's a great thing for anyone who writes to go for, because they're once you're in that family and they're so supportive and great, and even if you don't get win or anything like that, they give you feedback and it's great.
Yeah, excellent. So if you're a playwright and you're here in Auckland, and there's lots of programs like that running around the States right now. There's a really interesting article recently in American Theater about how nice it is to be a playwright in theater right now, because we're really starting to invest as a theater culture into our playwrights, which makes a lot of sense, because if you don't have a script,
don't have words,
if you don't have words or pictures that you're forming, then what are you doing? There are several theaters in the States right now that are real big about we don't need a script.
And they're wonderful, like the theatre company here, make the most incredible, engaging, beautiful work, and they will devise that, and it's all their own stories, which is just as powerful. It's incredible.
But there's still a story, and I think that's something that we realize, is that stories, whether they're literally written down or not, are, the skeleton, at the very least, and a lot of times even more than that, of theater. So, yes. So check out. Do you have these guys have a Facebook? They have Junket Theater.
Junket Theater. Yep.
Junket Theater Company. You can find them on Facebook. Do you have a website for your work?
No.
No. She's gonna get one of those soon. They're not so self-promoting out here in New Zealand, which is awesome as well. All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping in to listen to us talk about theater and wings. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.